What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, this video I'm gonna do is a little bit different. I just want to sit on here and talk with y'all. I ain't did that in a while. And hopefully you guys will get something out of this video I do. And please leave a comment whether you agree or disagree. And this is just me talking to you guys, my family, and just thinking, about a little bit about how, things are, how I think, how I see things. Some of you might agree, some of you might disagree, but I'm going to jump into this. Make no mistake, we all Americans, right? We all born in this country. We have citizenship here. I do my stories that I do, and as morbid sometimes as they are, or heartbreaking, it always comes down to one thing. Like when I pick and choose these stories, it comes down to common sense and a lack of accountability. It also comes down to things where, it's a lack of respect that causes a lot of these crimes. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. America has big problems. It does. And the first thing to get in some type of resolution is to talk about these problems, regardless if they're sensitive or not. They are still problems. And I'm not just talking about problems that affect Black people in America. I'm talking about problems that affect everybody as Americans themselves. I just did a video on the migrant crisis, right? And when I do those videos, I try not to come off like I have something against the people I'm talking about. Of course I don't. I believe anybody has a chance or that's given the opportunity to come into this country. There's rules and guidelines, people must follow. Laws are laws to prevent chaos. You agree or disagree? I think one of the biggest problems we have in America right now, you can blame it on parenting, you can blame it on social media, you could blame it on the internet, you could blame it on technology. There's one problem we're having, and we've been having this problem, and it's came to a head, and it seems like a lot of people have missed it. It's character development. You fix character development, you begin to fix America. I mean, look at the way the world is right now. I mean, the way our world in America as United States citizen, look at how it is. People are just running up in stores and just taking stuff. Broad daylight now. Granted, some of them have masks, some of them don't. People are snatching people off the streets. People are just pulling out war weapons in the street and just letting them off like it's nothing. It's almost like the purge in some way, form, or fashion. It's like people don't care. The penalties that a country has are not even respected no more. In this video, I want to talk a little bit about character development, because there's a lot of things in character development that, should be taught at home, especially at a young age. And like it is taught a lot of times, but it's not enforced a lot. Things that fall under character development are the following: respect, sense of justice, civic virtue, your duty as being a member of this country, your citizenship, you know what I'm saying? Responsibility to yourself and others, i.e. your accountability. A lot of people nowadays, we talk, like on my video, I talk a lot about young folk. I have nothing against young folk. I love young folk. I love everybody until you give me a reason not to deal with you. And that's the thing. Let's start off with this first thing: respect, man. You can have respect for a person, a place, or a thing. A lot of the crimes that are out here right now committed by younger people is because they have a lack of respect for both themselves and anybody else. Like I told you, people just want what they want. They're driven by an unknown force to do whatever they have to, whether it's heinous or not, to accomplish a goal of obtaining something, whether it's money, your car, anything, stuff that's fickle and doesn't mean anything, but has a lasting effect on the psyche of those that it's taken from. It's no way we're doing things now to each other and not losing sleep over it. Random strangers, we're messing their day up while going on along ours. That should never be accepted. At any time. Let's go with respect. When we're young, we taught a little bit about respect. Don't know what it is, but we're taught. Don't hit people. You know what I'm saying? Hey, don't hit. Say please. Say thank you. Sometimes yes, sir. No, sir. When you are in the presence of somebody that you know is in a position of power, and there's nothing wrong with following orders. Everybody want to be leaders nowadays, but to be a leader, you have to be first what? A follower. I remember back in the day in rap videos, people would say, "I'm a general. I'm a general. I'm a street general." And I would just scoff at it. I have a military background. My family, I come from a family where I had multiple members of my family and those before me that fought in wars and were, you know, soldiers. So I look at that and I kind of like, okay, all right. And it's like you can be whatever you want to be in the street or in life. But if your actions don't back it up, you're just talking. How many times you seen guys have brand new sneakers and treat the shoes better than they treat other people? You step on somebody's shoe, you might lose balance or whatever. In a bar, a club, or just any place where it's a congregation of human beings that are packed in and trying to make their own way through crowds, and gunshots ring out. We put too much of our energy and our heart into things that mean nothing while destroying things that mean everything to a person or somebody else, i.e. their life or their responsibility to others, just like you have responsibility to others. We have no respect for the elderly. You see that in stories I do. No respect for children. Think about this. There were times where people wouldn't curse in front of children. Or if you had a problem with somebody, if he was with his kids or his wife or his girlfriend, you would wait to see and talk to this person again. You would have some type of respect. That is out the window. The very virtues that would make us who we are as people. We're not even following our own instinctual path and just doing what humans do. I've covered stories where you've seen some of the craziest stuff. And I got some today that I'll cover after this video where you're like, who would do that? And it don't matter what age. You're starting to see not just young people, but people in their 50s and 60s that don't have mental problems doing stuff that only mentally, people with mental problems do. We have lost our way. I mean, a lot of us are lost people, and don't matter what color you are. Think about that. Justice. How many times you seen people in the street know that you raising a criminal in your house and really trying to get this child the adequate help? He go out there and do something to somebody else, and you rush to his aid and defend him with ticky-tack stuff. I did a story earlier this week. Son let off shots out there in Indianapolis, hurt 7 people. One of them was, and all of them was between ages of 12 and 16. He a kid himself. And she gonna sit up there and talk about, oh, he did this. If he hadn't did that, his other friend got killed. Okay. This guy right here had a history of having a gun on him and got in trouble before. The gun he had on him was one of his friends' gun. Why he got the gun on him? Because he was willing to pull the trigger. But you're not thinking about that. One thing. Or how about this? People go out here and do something to somebody, and they say, hey, we want justice, but you knew your son or daughter was out there living a life that they wasn't supposed to live, that put them in a position to be taken out of here. It's a lot of stuff. It's like people be dismissive, or like they just go out there and they just want to be, the real victim is the person you got to put in the ground, not you. And a lot of people get up here and they talk about, oh, I want justice for this. Okay. The street life is the street life. You knew it was coming one way or another. And how can you want justice when your people that you lost was unjust to others and you knew about it and never tried to stop them or say nothing? Everybody has a civic virtue. You know what I'm saying? Take care of your community. Care about your community. It's up to everybody to do their part out here. It is. As far as anything. How many times, let's look at it like, people are saying don't snitch. But then you got people on this side of the fence saying, hey, if you see something, say something. Now, a lot of times, this crime and stuff that's out here running rampant because people think that everybody's supposed to follow the street code. If you ain't in the street, that don't apply to you. I heard them say one time, oh, somebody's a civilian if they're not in the street. That's the craziest thing. A civilian is somebody who's just not in the military, period. This no snitching and all of this other stuff that causes friction and enable, all that is just a pass to enable people to do more violence. And you're starting to see that. The ones that started that no snitching stuff is all older people now, and the younger people coming up don't even understand that whole thing. And then they just out here running the streets and doing the craziest stuff. And police and law enforcement is getting wise. How many times you seen somebody commit a crime or seen the story I did where somebody commit a crime, steal something, and still walking around with the stuff they stole and get caught by it? Or go and do something to somebody and his cameras all over the place. Nowadays, his cameras everywhere and people just running around here and doing stuff that they feel as though they want to do. And then get caught and then lie. Oh, I ain't do it. It wasn't me. It's like lying is the new thing. Like nobody likes a liar. Nobody likes people that steal and stuff. And nobody likes people that just are dismissive. People pull away from you. You know what I'm saying? I was on the wrong path doing crazy stuff. But at any given time, I was ready to go out of here because I didn't like my life. And I blamed everybody else for what was happening to me instead of looking internally and fixing myself. So a lot of people out there that are struggling and want to do a life of crime and all this other stuff, or they're lost, I can sympathize with you. But then again, I can't, because at any given time, you can self-reflect. And it took me to get locked up to really get that ultimate image of myself in said self-reflection. I look back at my life and I said, damn, I threw it away. Luckily, you know what I'm saying? The amount of time I did, I learned something from it. See, jail and prison either make you or break you, to make you a better person or to make you worse than you were before you went in. How many times you seen repeat offenders somebody go into jail, come back out and become a repeat offender? Sometimes they don't even be out a whole day. A lot of times when you locked up, it's like being put on a shelf. And it's like you gather dust and you only as good or your remembrance of when it was, how it was when you got out. I had friends I met in jail. Got out 8-9 years after me, couldn't even use a smartphone. And it was frustrating them. They were calling me and asking me to help them. And I was like, man, you don't know how to use a smartphone. Time goes by so quick. From when you're young until you my age. I'm 51. It'll go by in a blink. If you don't expand your mind and continue to learn. A lot of the stuff out here right now and problems that we're going through is because people get to a point where they stop learning or stop wanting to educate themselves. Life is a constant elevation. You have to feed your mind like you feed your body. And a lot of people can't get out of their own way and constantly chase their tails because they refuse to put good food here. I told a story the other day about a guy I seen in the car, probably my age, a little bit younger. I know he was in his 40s. He gets up next to me. I don't know if he was in a drug-induced psychosis or whatever. This guy driving the car like a maniac. He got the music up. He leaning out the car, all kind of stuff, driving erratic. Then I was on a 2-lane road. He cut the traffic off and then jumped out the car and then sat on the hood and looked at everybody like this. How do you explain that? I think a lot of the drugs people are taking right now is what's contributing to the deterioration of their mind. You know, these drugs have addictive qualities. Same thing with cigarettes. It's made to make you keep coming back and taking something that's killing you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, as long as you have a dependency on that, we always going to have problems. When depression comes, you will run to that. When sorrow comes, you will run to that. When things don't go your way, you will run to that. Drugs are a crutch and a pacifier. They don't make you stronger or settle you down, including weed. It makes you weaker. Knocks you off the path. Citizenship, right? Let's talk about citizenship real quick. Regardless if you black, white, yellow, or brown, you are American if you're here. Seriously, you're American. If you go to other countries, tell me how many countries you see out here fight over color. And it's so segregated as America is. And every country has different people in it. Think about that. You go to another country, they classify you as where you from. You're an American. They don't care what color you are. You're an American. And proof of that is go over to one of these Middle Eastern states or these places that are war torn and all this other stuff and had a complexion for the connection with them people and tell them where you're from and see what happened to you. You care nothing about that. The internal struggles and all that stuff that's in America is BS. While we battling over stupid stuff, social issues, and a lot of that stuff is made for us to compound on those of weaker mind to move forward with and keep battling while somebody is profiting in the end. I'm not the sum total of knowledge, and neither is anybody else out there, because knowledge constantly changes and it constantly needs more knowledge. We have to keep elevating as people in this country. We do. We all, let's get to this last thing. I don't want to drag this. We all have a responsibility. And there's things I'm probably missing out. You know, I always go over this in my head and then I miss something. But in closing, let me say this. With character development, you know, we have a responsibility to self and a responsibility to others, to respect ourselves and to respect others. And that comes with the building of character. Should it be taught in school? Yeah, I think it should be taught in school. But it begins in being taught in the home. And there are people out here there are hard lessons that people never learned at a young age. And you see it as they get older. You do. You have to learn to respect yourself. Know your self-worth. Understand that you can be anything you want to be. You can. Long time ago, people was told, you know, hey, you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that. Like in India, they have different social classes. I watched things about different countries, different social classes. You know, wherever you was born at or something, you might have to just do a job or be stuck in an area because you can't get out because of the system or whatever they have over there. Some people are born and stuck in places. Over here, we're not. I'm proof of that. I had a high school education. I went to college 1 year experience. I said, hey, this wasn't for me. I don't want to do no more schoolwork. Got out of there, got a job at the post office as a casual employee. I worked there 1.5 years. My character, they usually keep you there three months and then get rid of you. I was one of 2 people that stayed for 1.5 years. But the job didn't have, you know, any type of long-term, you know, and I didn't want to be a poster worker. And it was my choice. I was a young person. It was my road. So I choose to what? Go into the military. It hit me one day. I said, I have no skill as a man that can take me to the heights that I want to go. There's nothing I don't know. I mean, I know how to run a machine and make mail go through it, but that's not going to help me in life. This is not what I choose to do. And I made a conscious decision. I'm gonna go in the military. And I went home and I sat down and I wrote down all the things I like as a young kid. I mean, as a young man. All the things I like, all the things I can see myself doing that I have a general interest in, and I can see myself doing. I wrote down jobs that I would like to do in life if I had a chance to do these jobs. If I wanted to go back to college, I had the GI Bill. It was a no-brainer for me. I always was taught respect and had respect for others, but some people out there weren't taught that. And when I went in the military, I was taught to respect others, work as a team. I was taught to have accountability for myself. Ain't nobody going to save you but yourself as a man. As soon as you go in there, whether you 18 to 21, they treat us all the same, like you're a man. And it was one of the best lessons I learned. You know what I'm saying? It's a responsibility. Like I say in my videos, it's nobody else's fault or nobody else's job to make sure you do the right thing in life. That's up to you. You know what I'm saying? You hear me say in my videos a lot. If they don't want to be here, we'll get them out of here. You know, as far as crime and showing people the flowers and stuff, I'll be dead serious. Every time we come out the womb, we all are on an even playing field as far as, you know, biologically wise. Now, everybody's not taught the same thing, and there are lessons in life that a lot of people miss. But under the right building blocks, you should be able to receive these life lessons and understand it with the proper knowledge and, you know, wisdom, which is basically how and when to use knowledge and learn from mistakes. And a lot of people are not doing it. I think character development is the first thing we need to work on, because I told you before, it's going to take generations to fix these problems we got, because we have people growing up without self-respect and respect for others. And a lot of them are set in their ways already. And we're going to have to deal with this type of human being while putting in, you know, new teachings with a younger generation. I think we need to pay attention to a lot of character development, and a lot of funds and stuff need to go into that. They need to start really dealing with character development and just us respecting each other, because respect is a part of character development. A lot of people got poor character and they are underdeveloped. Would you agree or disagree? I know there's things I missed, and I would love for you guys to put in the comment section what you think about the video and if I missed something, or if you agree or disagree. But I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. It's been a while since I came on here and just talked with y'all without showing a video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.